All right, American Red Devils reacts. Phil Jones doing the rounds on the podcast scene. Philly, give us a ring. You can come on here. We'll roast you. Won't pull any punches. Blackburn to Manchester United to pundit, I guess, Phil Jones. But, he has won the EPL. He has seen a lot go right at Manchester United, seen a lot go wrong. We're going to start just analyzing this clip, talking about the mentality at Manchester United at the time when it kind of turned with the Pogba-Lingard situation outside in. Let's hear from Phil Jones.
What's going on? Because I said to you, I turned around and said, bloody hell, I was like, join the game. Good point. I wanted a bit of validation that and he was like, nah, it's not good enough at this football club, mate. And that was the moment I was like, phew. That's the level we need to be at every single game.
That's the level. So first, the story talking to Rio where he drew 1-1 coming to the locker room, thought that it was a good result. And everybody who was on the team was devastated about it. And you can imagine Porto away, the draw, players on social posting photos of them scoring goals right now. At Manchester United, the mood back then would have been completely different. Just the level of mentality of the club, the culture of the club, right?
No, I mean, even look at us and Phil Jones. It's like Phil Jones, the player that even United fans, when we were living large, would rag on a little bit because of his injury record, because of some of the facial expressions he would make. He did say some tone-deaf things at times, but he was a hard worker, and he was recruited at the club for a reason. Famously, Sir Alex Ferguson said that he'd be one of the greatest ever players to play for Manchester United when he signed him for Blackburn Rovers. So he was a good player. His injuries got in the way of his development, and he always worked hard, never complained. So I have a lot of newfound respect for Phil Jones, especially with this new era. But him talking about the mentality, he saw it with the first, and then he saw the degradation of the mentality.
No, I disagree. Disagree
with what?
I don't have. It was how he behaved under the Woodward era. He was like boys with Woodward. They gave him the deal instead. He didn't have a great. He was a little tone deaf at the end of his career. Did things, just did things that didn't make him look good.
You wouldn't take the deal. You wouldn't take a big re-up that you didn't.
No, it
deserve?
was just like he was. Just like Harry Maguire getting a photo with the fan the night after Ole was sacked, Phil Jones had that type of awareness related to the club. And so he does deserve a little bit of stick given kind of how he dealt with everything. But, he seems like a good guy, can't complain. But let's hear more what Philly had to say. You got to balls and strikes, sir. You got to call it here.
Whatever you say.
He has a disappointing career. It didn't really go great.
I'm not arguing that he didn't have a disappointing career.
Changed my whole perspective of football.
When did that change? Because you talk about how now sometimes players can come in and you feel as if that winning culture can be disrupted.
I'll tell you when it changed. Well, I think from the outside, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I rang Wazza when I saw Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard dancing when we were 6th in the league on Instagram, and I rang Wazza and said, "What is going on here?"
I mean, you think that still goes on today? You think they're dancing in the locker room after?
I don't know. Probably not.
Music, just hey.
I think they care just as little as they did then. Yeah. I don't know if we don't have Pogba and Lingard, so maybe they don't celebrate the same ways. But I think they care just as little as they cared then, which wasn't at all. They just showing up for a paycheck. Mentality is eroded. I mean, but that's where it all came from. Is it happens slowly, then it happens all at once, and now it's just there's nothing to be found. There's no backbone in this team.
No backbone.
How are you allowing this? And you went, can't say nothing. It's just not the same.
The way the game's gone and
Wayne Rooney couldn't say.
Yeah, he said
Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, but he said to me, Ree.
What'd you say?
He said there's not only Jesse and Paul. There's a load of them all together. We're all looking at me like I'm mad if I say anything like this.
Can you imagine that happening in the dressing room? You get apps.
But Phil Jones was there. Right,
that's all I'm saying. He played under Fergie. He was good enough for Fergie. He won titles under Fergie. I get it that he was.
But he was there on the downfall. He was part of the problem. It's
you're being a little unfair.
No, he's trying to separate himself.
Part of the problem. You're mad at him because he was boys with Ed Woodward, which I get because Edward was a bum, one of the great bums of Manchester United's history. But he did have a fall out of a career. He got bagged a lot by a lot of United fans. He definitely was tone deaf, but he's right that he saw the decline. So it's it's not his job to fix the decline when
but played. That's what he's talking about it he was Rio, he retired then and wasn't part
Well,
of
he
it. Or wasn't
he
in the dressing
basically
room,
did because he
or-
never played for the
or
last
couldn't
6
go to
years.
those players and be like, hey, like, we gotta, there's a standard here, or be that part of that old guard. It was, if you think about it, the Rios of the world, the issue is that the old guard didn't keep it going at United, right? They kind of just like left it to the new players.
Well, look at Enka, who writes for the Athletics Reaction. He's like, if Waza, the highest goal scorer in Manchester United's history, can't say to Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard, like, hey guys, turn the fucking music
He's
off.
not a leader.
What are you talking?
he's not a
He
vocal
was the
leader.
captain at the time, brother.
No, I know, but
He,
he's
like-
not a vocal.
Yeah,
Even
but
if
you
you
think
listen to him now,
you think Phil Jones is
of
a
course
leader?
not.
The whole point is that like they didn't do it, so the new guy's in charge. You know, you had Alexis
Yes.
Sanchez. You'd always play it. Rashford was a young gun. He didn't know any better. But like none of the old guys, Lotta didn't say anything.
You know what's really funny is like, how did all those players turn out? Paul Pogba, doping scandal. Jesse Lingard going to Korea.
Alexis Sanchez.
Right,
Who are
you know,
you?
like all the players from that era that like eroded the culture, they're gone. You know, and their careers have gone one way. It's like there's nobody who's
You get tortured.
Yeah, and it was a. Do you know what? It's not even about. And I don't remember that exact moment, but you know that winning and that was the same in training.
Do you remember the day before games? I say to people, right, the day before game we used to do young be old.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Eight aside.
I'm telling you now, other than the top games we used to play against Liverpool and City and that, those games were more intense than the actual game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
The Saturday game was become easier than.
We're never getting back. Here's the thing.
I
This is
know.
called nostalgia, and we're never gonna. Even if we get good again, they're not gonna be like this. The game has changed. The game has moved past this. It used to be a hard man's game. It's not a hard man's game no more. I mean, these guys are top
It
athletes.
still is. It still
No,
is.
it is. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same football it was 10 years ago. And
No,
it's not
but
even close
the
to the game it
City
was 20 years ago.
trains at a level. So, but like
They
City,
are pros.
No, I know, but City trains at a level that's higher than what they play at on the weekend. United do not train
we
at
don't.
that
No,
level.
we don't.
No, and that's like so. Like when you see United come out and they're flat, that's because we're training at that level. It's like, you know, we believe that we're at the level and then we get punched in the mouth. That's why we look like we don't know what we're doing. City train at that level. And that's why they, you know, that and maybe doping is why they can go as long
And
as
having a
hard as they
ridiculous
can.
squad, having a squad filled with studs.
But they train at like such a high tempo that the passing is so not scratchy, and United is like training just like we're good, we're being paid a lot of money, like, you know, like, and
We
nobody's
watch the
bothered.
games. We've been watching this game for fucking ever. We know what they're training like. We know because we saw the quality of the pitch for the last 10 years. It's like, you know, they're not training hard. You know, they're not training like they used to. In these stories about like Keno getting in young Ronaldo's face and like beating the, you know,
Like
like
kicking
bust
him.
ups. Like there are no bust ups anymore because the just level of training is just not where it used to be. The mentality is dipped. This is why the change needs to happen with the manager. It's like someone's got to try something new because right now the status quo is not working.
I wouldn't even let him on the bus after the match. I get a taxi back to Manchester.
Which match? Every match is like that.
I wouldn't let him on the bus. In the home game, I wouldn't even let him. They gotta get changed in the parking lot, sir, to like get him out. Like, you know, at
Give him a raise.
this rate.
Pay him
but-
more money.
Let us know. What do you think? Listen to the full interview with Phil Jones. What do you remember of him at Manchester United? Am I being harsh saying that, you know, to the end of the career, I wasn't a big fan. Kind of
Nobody was, though, at the end.
he had some antics, you know, like not giving up. It should have been like detrimental to the club. You know, I would say in some ways.
Doubling down.
Yeah,
Huh?
exactly,
You're-
yeah.
No, you're doubling down.
just
I'm going
like-
to say on the way out.
Yeah.
He got that contract. Good for him, bro. I got that free. He got a contract for 4 years, and I don't think he played a game. So you know what? Get that bag, bro.
Let us know what you think about Phil Jones. Let us know what you think about Manchester United. Is it the training? Is it the coaching? Right now, times are tough, but like you said, sir, the darkest is always before the dawn. Let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. America Devils. Till the next time, we'll see you soon.